Alright, now hear me out. I will recommend the Galaxy S23 Ultra over the brand new Galaxy S24 Ultra, but not for the reason that you think. Now, when it comes down to the decision-making process of what phone you want to buy, it usually comes down to productivity, compatibility, and most importantly, affordability. And I think that when it comes to finalizing the deal on what phone you choose to buy, all three of these concepts have come together in order for you to not only have a phone that you can use on a day-to-day basis, but also make you feel like you've made the right decision with no regrets. And I think that when you compare the Galaxy S23 Ultra to the S24 Ultra, these three concepts are more favored towards the Galaxy S23 Ultra, since it gives you the exact same experience, which is compatibility. It does everything that you would need a top-tier Galaxy phone to do, productivity, and you can get it for a cheaper price instead of spending $1,300 for the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Affordability. And it also has the benefit of not being a company with problems like the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And most importantly, the Galaxy S23 Ultra has proven to be a more trustworthy phone since it's given me a really good consistent experience over the past year. So if we're adding another important buying factor, it also has reliability. And I wanted to make this video not just to show you guys how the Galaxy S23 Ultra has been holding up for over the past year, but I also wanted to help you finalize the decision between this and the Galaxy S24 Ultra to help you decide if it's actually worth the upgrade. Now, if you didn't know, just like you guys, I'm someone who has a passion for technology, and I know that there are many of you guys that would like to incorporate this passion into a full-time career. And if you're interested in starting a career in computer science, then I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Southern New Hampshire University. Now, SNHU has one of the largest accredited nonprofit online degree offerings in the country, and I want to talk to you about their computer science degree. In this program, you'll gain the skills that you need to enter one of the nation's fastest growing fields. You'll learn very popular languages such as Python, Java, and C++, further expand your toolbox with experience in full stack development, and can also integrate using JavaScript, NoSQL, and Amazon Web Services. You'll also learn agile software methodologies and develop a security mindset that will help you understand some of the biggest challenges in this current industry. SNHU also provides cloud-based virtual environments in some courses to give you access to the technology that you need for your degree. SNHU is also radically affordable. Their online tuition rates are some of the lowest in the nation, and you can also go to snhu.edu/Nasim, which is also linked in my description and comment section of today's video. And from there, you can see the current average annual salary for a developer and request free information about the program. And when you do request information, a real person will hop on the call and discuss how the program can ultimately benefit you. In the future, there will be two categories of jobs: people who tell computers what to do and people who are told by computers what to do. Which one will you be? Now, one of the most important factors of longevity within a smartphone is durability. Unfortunately, this is a department where the S23 Ultra excelled in. Now, the S23 Ultra will be getting OS and security upgrades up until 2027, which is a solid 3 more years of having this phone up to date. Now, this is pretty great as it allows for many more years of use, but the S24 Ultra does have 4 more years of support, so the extra money that you spend will take you farther. But despite being outclassed in the realm of software updates, when it comes to the durability, my Galaxy S23 Ultra has been able to look brand new despite the heavy use over the past year. There's Gorilla Glass Victus on the front and back, and this, accompanied with the matte textured glass and aluminum frame with the stainless steel feel, gave it great depth. Getting a better look at it, we can see that the glass and aluminum finish isn't accompanied by any major scratches or bumps. On the front, there is a little bit of wear and tear on the screen, but it's really not visible unless you look really close. And I also have an extremely small scratch on the bottom edge due to me dropping it on the pavement, but this still didn't stop the phone from looking brand new. The S23 Ultra is also IP68 dust and water resistant, just like the S24 Ultra. So if you're ever at the beach, a water park, or you just drop your phone in water by accident, the S23 Ultra will withstand any type of liquid or sand. Feel and aesthetic was another field where the Galaxy S23 Ultra was able to excel in. Compared to my S24 Ultra, the S23 Ultra still has that very boxy build, but also knew when to implement its rounded frame. The teardrop edges mixed in with the box shape was very smooth. The S24 Ultra has a build that negated any type of roundness, while the S23 Ultra was much more inviting to it. As you can see right here, the S23 Ultra has a sleek look that has more depth, while the S24 Ultra stays more true to that boxy flat screen TV look. But other than that, the S23 Ultra feels damn near the exact same. It's still very big. The display is curved, which results in smaller bezels and a better aesthetic, and it feels slightly heavier than the S24 Ultra, which adds to its premium feel. Now, when it comes to display, this might sound crazy when you hear it, but Samsung is the only company where their last generation smartphone is still considered to have one of the best displays in the market. Even compared to the latest iPhone 15 Pro Max or the Pixel 8 Pro, the S23 Ultra still has more vibrancy, it's still bigger with less bezels, and it still kicks both of their when it comes to crack and scratch resistance. Going deeper into the display, it still has the fastest fingerprint sensor in the market. I tested the fingerprint sensor on my Pixel 8 Pro. You can also see me using the fingerprint sensor on the S23 Ultra, and it was easily the better option in terms of speed and accuracy. I even did a test with the S24 Ultra as well, and as you can see, the speed and accuracy was the exact same as the S23 Ultra. The facial recognition is also very comparable. Both the S23 and S24 Ultra had the exact same speed and accuracy, but I also found that both phones still struggle with facial recognition in different environments that don't involve natural sunlight. Now, going deeper into the list of ways that the S23 Ultra's display is still top tier, it has a quad HD 1440p display that has easily given me the best visual experience when compared to the Galaxy S24 Ultra, Pixel 8 Pro, and iPhone 15 Pro Max. Giving a side-by-side comparison with the Galaxy S24 Ultra, you can see that the colors on both phones are extremely vibrant, the resolution is the exact same, and the bezels on the S23 Ultra are thinner, which can look better whenever watching videos. The anti-reflective coating definitely differentiates these phones when it comes to color. The S23 Ultra has slightly brighter colors, while the S24 Ultra's colors are slightly more dark and rich. But most people won't pay attention to this, so from the naked eye, they still look the exact same. The only noticeable difference is the anti-glare protection on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. When it comes to the Galaxy S23 Ultra, you can see the shadow of my camera within the display, but with the S24 Ultra, you can hardly tell that my camera is in the same spot of the display. Now, we've talked about how the Galaxy S23 Ultra has damn near dominated every category when it comes to longevity, but the battery is where it dominates the most. Now, I've always said that the best part about the Ultra series is not only do they have long-lasting batteries, but they also charge very quickly. The S23 Ultra supports 45-watt fast charging, which means that not only will you go from 0 to 100% in under an hour, but you will also get 50% charge in half an hour, which is very convenient. And after a year of usage, I feel like my Galaxy S23 Ultra has been one of the most consistent phones that I've used in the past 5 years. I mainly use my S23 Ultra for gaming now, and I find it to still run them as smoothly as the first day I got it. And other than that, I mainly use my S23 Ultra for social media, texting, replying to emails, and even taking some cool shots. I'm ending my days with over 35% battery, which is more than enough if I work late into the night. I never use power saving mode since 120 Hz is a must for me, and I never held back when it came to the battery. Now, a couple of minor things that also took a chunk of my battery was the fact that I have always on display on all the time. My brightness is always medium to high, and I never tried to cut any corners. Now, performance has always been a strong suit of the Galaxy S23 Ultra, not only for the fact that it's able to play any power heavy game that you want, but also the fact that it's still able to do it for a long period of time. I also still wanted to show you guys just how great the Snapdragon Gen 2 chip has been holding up. And in Call of Duty Mobile, I usually run the best settings since I know that the S23 Ultra can take it. And as you can see right here, there's no lag, the frame rate is consistent, and playing the most power heavy games is something that the S23 Ultra will not shy away from. Even more light games like Asphalt 9 were able to do well. Compared to my Galaxy S24 Ultra, it looks and feels the exact same in terms of performance and visual experience. So what about camera? Well, I think that one way to show you guys how good the S23 Ultra's camera is to compare it to different phones in different categories. So when it comes to selfies and night photos, I will be comparing it to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And when it comes to random photos that I took outside, I will be comparing it to the Pixel 8 Pro. Now, looking at selfies, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is better in my opinion, but the Galaxy S23 Ultra was still able to hold its own. The colors were vibrant, the sharpness was still top tier, and the depth of blur was still great. But I felt like the 15 Pro Max captured my skin tone more accurately and made my face look better. Comparing night photos, the Galaxy S23 Ultra was better in this category. It had more sharpness, the artificial lighting was brighter, and I think that overall, it just took better photos. Going more into comparisons with the Pixel 8 Pro, the outside pictures between both phones were very tough. They both took great shots. They both had many great attributes. But if I had to choose, I'm picking the Galaxy S23 Ultra as a slight winner. Even inside photos were extremely tough. If I had to choose, I would say that the Pixel 8 Pro handled interior shots with more realism and wasn't as filtered as the S23 Ultra. But that pretty much sums up all my thoughts surrounding the Galaxy S23 Ultra. I think that if you are someone who has the Galaxy S23 Ultra, you should stick with it since it's basically the exact same phone as the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And if you are someone who is deciding between the Galaxy S23 Ultra and S24 Ultra, if you like having more money and you like having a top tier phone, go with the S23 Ultra. Peace.